Alrighty, brothers and sisters, so how high can Ethereum go? Can it go to 4,000, 5,000? Can it go to 7,000, 10,000, or 12,000? And what does this mean for our altcoins and meme coins, especially on Ethereum? This is what we're going to talk about in today's video. So with no further ado, let's get into it. And as usual, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This show is for entertainment, some education, and hopefully finding God. Now let's get into this most important question and most important chart in the world here today for crypto is Ethereum chart, because as you can see recently when Ethereum pumps, things start to look way different in the crypto space. Now for this month since Ethereum started pumping, while it feels like it's been a long time, but it's not been a long time now. It's been just a month since we've seen Ethereum really pumping, getting altcoins to pump with it. But since now we're seeing a slowdown on Ethereum price, we're seeing altcoins starting to pull back a little bit or slow down. So this is a great time to look at Ethereum again and understand what is probably going to happen here and if this actually will go up. One simple way to look at how high Ethereum can go is by looking at the ETH BTC pair, which is basically showing us how strong Ethereum is against Bitcoin. And since the ETH BTC bottomed, we've seen now a strong reversal by ETH BTC, like the one we've seen in 2019, which basically got us to really see a nice run and a nice alt season. Basically, that was one of the best all season ever, and probably we're heading toward again another one, which I believe, in my opinion, is very likely here. And now the targets and how high altcoins would go pretty much depends on how high Ethereum would go. So the most closest target here for ETH BTC pair is this 0.04, which, for example, if we pull the calculator here and we say that Bitcoin would be around 120,000, which I do think we're gonna see a higher Bitcoin, but we're gonna stick with 120,000 for this one, and then we can also do the 150,000. So Bitcoin around 120,000 times 0.04 for Ethereum, that would mean an Ethereum around 4,900 on its USD pair, which is above all-time high. And this is the first target I have here, which is around close to $5,000 for Ethereum, given that Bitcoin is at around 120,000. Now another close range target for ETH BTC is around 0.05 or 0.053, and if Bitcoin again is around 120,000 times 0.053, that would give us a target of around 6,360. But if Bitcoin does hit 150,000, and we say that this is the most that ETH BTC can go up to, which is 0.053, and Bitcoin is at 150,000, this would mean ETH would be close to 8,000, which is the second target I have here. Let's say 7,800, where we could see Ethereum go here. Now this would be a pretty decent target, and this is really not that high for the ETH BTC pair, and this is really not that crazy high as well for the ETH USDT pair here on Ethereum. So what this means is that the prices we've seen recently, now Ethereum going from it this low to 3,800 was close to a 3x move. This from today to this price would be another 2x, and this also means we're way above all-time high, and definitely in my opinion this would create a major alt season and much more FOMO. Now just above all-time high, which is the first target for Ethereum here, just above for all-time high, which is this 5k level for Ethereum, would pretty much get a lot of traction for altcoins and a lot of FOMO into altcoins like we've seen in July. But the 7,800 or close to 8,000, this would actually be a massive rally by altcoins following Ethereum. This would create a strong effect on altcoins and would get them to really rally and create a massive FOMO here. Now the next target is around 10,000, and the next one is around 12,000. We could say that they are not pretty far from each other, and I would say that 12,000 is pretty much on the table realistically here, not being a moon boy or anything like that. And that for that to happen, we need this target here on the ETH BTC pair, which is around 0.083, which is pretty much going back to this 2021 highs for Ethereum, which is not that crazy to think about, seeing that we have all these ETF inflows for Ethereum, which are still very strong. And I've seen this, that actually US spot Ethereum ETFs are outpacing Bitcoin with 1.8 billion weekly inflows. And we're seeing this, and I've been reporting on this. You can follow me as well on Twitter, link in the description. Now you can see that we have record high inflows on ETFs for Ethereum, while Bitcoin is slowing down. So we're seeing more and more appetite for Ethereum ETFs. And this could pretty much change everything we know about altcoins and about this cycle. As previous cycle here, when ETH BTC was around these highs, around 83, we had mostly retail and speculation going on here. There was no institutional demand or anything like that, no real actual buys coming in from big banks. So I do believe now when we have these ETFs and real major demand and institutional demand, there is no reason why Ethereum against Bitcoin, why it won't go back to its previous high. And as I shown you now, we are seeing an outpace now by Ethereum, which means this is directly impacting the ETH BTC pair, because people are not buying Bitcoin but buying ETH, which means ETH will outperform Bitcoin. It pretty much makes it easy to go above or go around 83. So if Bitcoin is around 120k and ETH BTC pair is around, let's say that's 0.083, that would mean Ethereum is pretty much at around 10,000, which is this next target here now. It goes without saying, Ethereum at 10,000, the headlines will be crazy. The retail and FOMO and the amount of people that are going to join in here and just talk about Ethereum, how much they missed out on it. Plus as well, the institutional FOMO we've seen as well. Recently, BNB getting a treasury as well, like Michael Saylor type of treasuries, like as well Ethereum got one. Now we're seeing BNB raising $520 million to build a massive BNB treasury, and we're gonna see more of that with ETH going really high. I do think we're gonna see that just by Ethereum going above its all-time high now, let alone going at close to 8,000. This will create major institutional FOMO, which retail will miss out on, and retail will have no choice but jump on other cheaper alternatives like coins or memes on Ethereum, which we're gonna get to. But on Ethereum at 10,000, the headlines would be much crazier, much bigger, creating not only institutional demand like we've seen, but also retail demand, which retail means directly impacting altcoins and meme coins. So at 10,000, Ethereum would pretty much look way different. The crypto space would look way different than it looks like today. And as you can see, it's not that hard to get there, as I just explained, with just the ETH BTC going to its previous highs, these 2021 highs, and everything is lined up for that to happen as well, in my opinion, which is clear here with this outpacing Ethereum ETFs outpacing Bitcoin ETFs. And it's clear here when we see now Bitcoin ETFs only had the last 2 days, we've seen some sellouts on the Bitcoin ETFs, but as well inflows most of the time with Bitcoin ETFs, and Ethereum is outpacing them. Now Bitcoin only had 226 million on the 24th and 130 million on the 25th, while Ethereum had 231 million matching Bitcoin on the 24th, and on the 25th double that Bitcoin had 452 million. And as you can see here, it's clear on this graph that we are seeing major increases on the ETH ETF inflows. So everything is lined up for the actual ETH BTC pair to go back to this 0.08 here. And that would mean if Bitcoin is around 120,000 or around it, that means around $10,000 for Ethereum. Now, what could make it go to 12,000? Now, this depends on how high Bitcoin would go as well. So if Bitcoin goes, for example, to 150,000, ETH BTC goes back to 0.083, not above it, just 0.083, so 0.083. This would mean exactly $12,450 per Ethereum, which is a crazy number. Now this is not in most people's radar. Most people are very bearish on Ethereum, and as I just shown you here, it's not that hard to get to 12k for Ethereum just by Bitcoin being around 150,000, which I do believe is very achievable for Bitcoin. Most people say Bitcoin is going to 250,000 this cycle, so 150,000 for Bitcoin is not too far away from where it's at today, around 120,000. So 150, I don't see that as an impossible thing to achieve for Bitcoin. And if ETH is actually against Bitcoin, ETH BTC is around 0.083, 12,000 Ethereum is pretty much on the table here. And that goes without saying, 12,000 Ethereum would pretty much just add on to the fire after ETH crosses 10,000. 12,000 would just increases the FOMO, the retail rush, everything. Everybody will be talking about cryptos with ETH going to 12,000. Why is this really important? Is that retail already feel like they missed out on, let's say, Bitcoin. They missed Bitcoin at 15k, so they literally missed Bitcoin around here. They missed Bitcoin here, and they missed on a almost 10x. So if Bitcoin goes to 150k, that's retail missing out a clear 10x, which means that they're gonna feel again the same feeling with Ethereum going to 12,000, because Ethereum as well just recently was at around 1,400, and in the bear market went below 1,000 to 900. So just by Ethereum going to 9,000 is already a 10x from this bear market lows, already feeling or creating that fear of missing out among retailers, which will feel like they again missed out on another coin, which is the second largest coin after Bitcoin. So this naturally creates a rotation, creates people to FOMO and look for other coins, which lead us to meme coins. Now, I do believe meme coins are going to stay the strongest performing altcoins, besides the ones that will get a treasury or ETFs like Bitcoin, Ethereum, probably Solana is getting one, probably XRP will get one, and most of those are pretty high up already. So retail, in my opinion, will likely end up going into meme coins, because that's what we've seen happen over and over this far, and meme coins continue to make those decent gains. We recently seen Pudgy Penguins up 8x from its lows, and we got SPX69, which is on Ethereum, going on this crazy run here. And just from its lows, from the tariff lows here to today, it's up as well 8x like Pengu. So this already shows how crazy meme coins are. Meme coins are still active. Meme coins are still the main course of action for retailers. They just want meme coins, and we can see that meme coins just continue to outperform. So in my opinion, Ethereum memes are gonna be much stronger than the Solana memes, just because of what I just explained. Also because if Ethereum is at 10k or 12k, this creates also a lot of capital inflows into the ETH ecosystem. More people are gonna as well align ETH memes with Ethereum, and it just in their mind it's gonna make sense that something on Ethereum is more bullish than something on another chain. So that leaves ETH memes into some real decent bullish catalyst in the future here. So for now, we are not seeing them really move. We got Pepe still trying to climb back up, but it is climbing, and I do think it likely will take out its previous all-time high. Probably we'll see something crazy happen in the future with ETH memes, especially that last time we seen Shiba Inu go to $50 billion market cap, and this was while ETH was at only 5k. So that's double the amount. If Ethereum is at 10k, that means double the market cap for whatever happened last cycle, which is Shiba Inu to 50 billion, and Dogecoin, which is on its own blockchain, went to 100 billion. But with a double amount Ethereum, we could say whatever Shiba Inu did last time, we could double that. So Pepe could pretty much be a big runner. We got SPX as well now being another second player on Ethereum, and these coins here have their own narratives, and coins that are also on Ethereum, like I shared with you, Breath on ETH, which is a very undervalued low cap meme, as well as Dork Lord or Dorkia, undervalued low cap meme, which is just the dark version of Pepe, which people start to like that version, type of version where there is a green Pepe, there is a blue Pepe, and there is the dark side Pepe as well. So let's start with the Pepe here and look at its chart here. Now Pepe has just been slowly climbing up, like we've seen with many altcoins and meme coins. It's because they're still waiting for the signal from actually a clear breakout by Ethereum, as Ethereum now is closing in onto that 4,000 level. So a lot of people are either bearish or bullish on this one. There is a lot of indecision going on here around 4,000. I personally believe this cannot hold this long. It will break out at some point. 4,000 being a resistance for 3 times already. The 4th time could be it and break us out of 4,000. So that could be another major catalyst for ETH memes to actually see some major confidence back in the market, because people now are still thinking, will Ethereum break above 4,000? Will it not? So now time will tell. The weekly candle on Ethereum was pretty bullish, closed pretty good here, pretty green, showing like there is continuation going on here. There is momentum going on Ethereum as well. If we look at the daily, we only had 2 and 3, pretty much 3 red daily candles on Ethereum since this momentum started on Ethereum and this uptrend started. Now today is still a red day on Ethereum. Probably it could reverse. Even if it's end up being a red day, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of red days going forward here on Ethereum, seeing how strong this uptrend is on Ethereum. So the main reason why memes are not moving right now is because people think that 4,000 will not break. So I think I'm in the camp that thinks 4,000 will break on Ethereum here, in my opinion. Not financial advice for YouTube, and that would pretty much start us off the right path here and start to see some strength flow into ETH memes. Now Pepe, as I said, is pretty much lined up to be the next Shiba Inu, and we got some other meme coins like on Ethereum, like MemeCoins, which pretty much seen as well a slow grind up, showing some strength as well. Like most of them are showing strength, and these are all coins on Ethereum like Turbo as well. As we've seen a nice rally recently, and now it's kind of still accumulating below this 450. And as I said, all of them are waiting for Ethereum to break 4,000. Now we got Toshi, which is on the base chain, a layer 2 on Ethereum. Not as strong. Base chain memes are not as strong as Ethereum memes, but still a play to be had here. So Toshi is as well slowly climbing up, building this sort of parabola, and this is something that we see on all of the meme coins right now. Now even on Bread on 8 we see that playing out as well here, this sort of parabola working its way up, like squeezing the price slowly higher. We see the same thing now building up on Dorky as well here on the daily, slowly building up this parabola as well. So a lot of meme coins are doing this type of charts, just waiting for the confirmation as actually from Ethereum to happen. And the real fireworks, in my opinion, would be above all-time high, and that would really start the flow here with more institutional FOMO, more ETFs inflows, more treasuries, and more people looking into this. And FOMO, especially by institutions, will create everything that we need. Now remember, in the previous cycle 2021, let's go back to the ETH BTC. In 2021, most of the money came in from retail, and the promise back then was that institutions will come. So retail came in first and institutions didn't. And this time around, funny enough, institutions came in and retail didn't. So this is a total different cycle. Now, last time we just pushed up by just retailers and just the usual crowd in crypto buying Ethereum and speculating on it. But today we have actual institutions that could drive the price way higher before any retail starts to come in. And that's a totally different cycle, in my opinion. And it is pretty clear. Everybody starts to see that now with the ETFs. You cannot deny now the ETFs. Now ETFs have played a major role now with just this recent rally by Ethereum, and they will continue, in my opinion, to play a major role until we see major FOMO kick into the market, which is pretty much could coincides with Ethereum above or close to 7,000 or close to 8,000, and making its way. Probably retailers and more FOMO worldwide will create this last leg up on Ethereum to maybe 10K or 12K. Anyways, guys, hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching today's video till the end, and wish you a nice day. Cheers.